nights and neon dreams, spinning wheels in fast machines, digital gold in pixel streams, rise and fall like cryptic memes. Eyes glued to the endless charts, ticker tape and rising hearts. Every coin a work of art, bound to break or fall apart. Number, go up, 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 hold on tight, don't you stop. Ride the waves, never drop, chasing dreams with no flop. Number, go up, 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 hold on tight, don't you stop. Ride the waves, never drop, chasing dreams with no flop. Fortunes flash in midnight trades, screen lights up in neon shades. Risk and thrill as courage fades, lightning gains in crypto raids. Hear the clicks, the cash advance, every move a daring dance. Fortune favors those who chance, come my friends, join the trance. Number, go up, 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 hold on tight, don't you stop. Ride the waves, never drop, chasing dreams with no flop. Number, go up, 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 hold on tight, don't you stop. Ride the waves, never drop, chasing dreams with no flop.
She's swaying high, her hips ignite. I'm trading sad instead of holding tight. Date nights, cash, I roll the dice. Crypto fever's my vice. Ooh, I crave your heat, not blockchain's tease. Ooh, sugar and sats, don't cut me, please. Yeah, yeah. Fires in my game ignite. Groove shakes me day and night. Her eyes blaze through the candle glow. I chase 'em, moon, let her savings go. Dinner's tapped, my wallet's bled. Bull run, taunt, she's off to bed. Ooh, I crave your heat, not blockchain's tease. Ooh, sugar and sats, don't cut me, please. Yeah, yeah. Fires in my game ignite. Groove shakes me day and night. Ooh, sugar and sats. Ooh. Lost my match, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, cowbell's ready. Are you ready for the turkey? 'Cause here comes the turkey.
They gathered round the screen, eyes on the monitor bright. unfold them. Here they come to watch the turkey. Oh yeah, yeah, here come the turkey. Yeah, you know he's gonna call it right. No, 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 he gonna call it right. The turkey, oh yeah, yeah, here come the turkey, yeah. You know he's gonna call it right. No, 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 he gonna call it right. I see my viewers, they're a curious breed. They're searching for the next big
Ladies and
thing,
gentlemen.
their fortunes to read.
The turkey.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I should say thank you very much.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Late Night Crypto. And we've seen some good things happening here on the market after the scared day they had. We had a great day. Everybody's bullish. Had a red day. Everybody's bearish. I get tired of that. I'm like, level out, man. Come on. We're like some manic depressive people over here. We're just like bipolar. I mean, what the hell? I mean, I know there's lots of reason to be upset and everything. Democrats are just, I don't know. Maybe I listen to just let Trump do what he's doing, man. Just let him do what he's doing, okay? Just they freaking out too much. When the market drops, oh, it's manipulation. His buddies are getting in on it. When it pumps back up, when it pumps up, it's just, when it pumps up, when he drops tariffs, does what they ask, then they're saying, I'm not saying he's weak. I'm just saying, screw them. I don't know what happened to that party. I'm not a party person. I'm not trying to make this political or anything. But my gosh, I see Elizabeth Warren and some of those little guys, Schumer and whatever, Adam Schiff, all these sleazeballs politicians out there, and there's some of the sleaziest ones out there just trying to create up a stir, not trying to make a solution, not trying to add, not trying to make anything better, just trying to point out, nitpick, and just criticize and just be little bitches. Does have to get off that off my chest. Welcome everybody, how's it going? It's a positive stream tonight. Look at what's going on in the altcoin markets right now. I mean, I know it's quite soon. This little guy, yeah. Oh, I'm so glad I added some more when you were like at fractions of a penny or wherever. How low did you get? You were down like 0.011. Yeah, fractions of a penny. Yeah, I thought I remember 0.09, 0.00 or 0.008, 0.009 in those areas. Yeah, that's got a 2x from here now. That's kind of cool. So, Fartcoin, oh my God. That's one you don't want to short, apparently. That little guy, maybe you can get back up to $2. And maybe my little bag of Fartcoin will be a bigger bag of Fartcoin, and maybe you can buy me some Bitcoin or something with it. Ladies and gentlemen, how's it doing tonight? Wow. So, my apologies to all my YouTube members. Tonight was supposed to be chart school, but your boy was asleep in the lounger for some reason. I'm having trouble being awake during that time on Thursdays. Woke up a little bit after 8 and didn't even dawn on my mind that I missed it until right before this show. I'm like, wait a minute, today's Thursday. Crap. So I'm going to have to find a different little schedule for that, I believe. I believe we're going to have to kind of change it from Thursdays at 8 p.m. to something else. I will let you know, but there was supposed to be a good lesson that I was going to go over, and I feel like I'm cheating you guys if I don't give it to you. It's kind of revealing the secret sauce of my Fibonacci techniques there, and, I owe it to you guys to do that. I may do it. I can't make any promises, but I will do a makeup stream on that sometime before the next Thursday. Hopefully this weekend. Maybe if I don't get crazy this weekend. Tomorrow looks like a crazy day, so it's not going to be tomorrow. Welcome everybody to the stream. Glad to have you here. Got 20 people hanging out. Let me say hello to you guys real quick, because that just seems to be the coolest thing to do. We got Strong Short Soul. Hope you're not shorting right now. We got how's it going? So we got Joe from Trade Intuition, fellow YouTuber. Go check him out. He streams and spreads the TA crypto gospel out there. Second only to the true gospel, but the Crypto gospel is the other thing. We are. He's a crypto evangelist, kind of like I am, and you know, I will put myself out there as being one of those persons trying to share the TA and trading gospel for crypto. But there is a bigger gospel that I like to shout out, and that's Jesus and God. And my little thing up here says, and God said, let there be one Bitcoin, and it was good. I do believe that to be true. Let's go on. I just had to get that out there. So, Bitcoin. Let your hips and your heart lose the gray. Your boy's a believer. He's not afraid to say the name of Jesus. All right, I'm just throwing that out there. Some people may hate that. A lot of people do hate that. Really, they look down on that. I see no reason to do that. But having said that, because it's part of my deal with having this channel. Oh my God, you're the boomer who keeps drawing these symmetrical triangle patterns. What, you suck, road dog, don't stop. I used to, when I was in a trading group, I hated seeing these. Hated it. I'm like, what the hell is this supposed to do? Oh, and then you get some asshole saying, oh, it can go up, it can go up or it can go down. And I'm like, well, aren't you just a freaking genius? All right. This does, but really what we're doing is just looking at the trend lines more on the short term where it really doesn't matter as much. I'm just saying, pinching the tip, son. Let's talk about tip pinching real good. Tip pinching real quick. Sometimes I see these guys out here and they do this, and they're putting out a pattern before there's any touches. Okay, now that. First of all, that creates a bias, and second of all, that is not in the rule book. It creates a bias because if you ever notice, these people also get caught up with, you know, big calls at resistance that don't play out. I don't recommend doing anything like that. You need 2 touches on one side, 3 on the other. That's the rules of the game. If you're not doing that, you're gambling. You're not a pattern trader. You're just trying to speculate and guess and trying to, you know, get some validation or something if it does play out, and skip over it if it don't. Is my personal opinion. I'd like to see us get a breakout here, but that's not what's got me excited tonight. What's got me excited tonight is this little bottoming pattern that I love. I loves it. We did a W pattern, and then we started doing a scallop, and it looked like it might roll over. Actually, they were very slick. They actually enticed me into a little short trade. Because I was paying attention to this guy. I was drawing some trend lines, smaller time frame. I didn't zoom out, and when the trend line broke, you know, I was like, oh, I'm taking short, but I don't think it was there. I think it was somewhere down here. And it was, and then I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna do this. This is where they got me. I did this. They came down and they did a bear trap on me. And I know enough to know, well, oh, you get back in the pattern. Cancel that short, baby. When I saw that happen, I canceled all but $1 worth just to kind of let it do what's this. This is called, and this what's happening here is breaking a trend line, and that's valid. But this is how they trap you, and this is what this market loves to do, is to trap traders. Right? And so if you follow the rules of the game for support, resistance, or even trend lines, and you break one, the rules are to automatically open a short there. But that's a kind of a rough rule, because it will backfire on you in a heartbeat. How many times has this happened to you guys? You open a short because it breaks a level. Look, we just broke this level. Great place to take, and we did that double bottom thing that kind of gave out. There's lots of arguments to say that you should short there, but in the bigger sense of things, when you zoom out, and it is not the most perfect trend line at all, or at least it looks better here and now than what it did a few minutes ago. Even doing this guy, I mean, that's how they get you. And I went for a little short, but I know enough just to nibble when I first start things out. The safest thing would to do where bears retest and roll over, which it didn't do. It affected everybody out, right? With this scallop type pattern, inverted scallop. Now I happen to like these because I look for these as a bottom pattern, and I was hoping we would get something like this, and that's cool. This one came down to our 618 area, a little bit below, and then she gained some traction there. One thing that was cluing me in that this might be happening, other than I like this pattern and I do look for this particular thing, more often than not, I've seen these little bridge patterns, bridge bottoms is what I call them, where they roll over. Maybe you look at it as an atom, you know, you look at it however you want to term it. It's just a form of double bottom and a form of a channel, really. You just didn't touch the bottom of the channel. And we just take the width of that, put it there, and it's telling us that, hey man, we should be working our way back up here to around 81,600. And I'm like, well, that's cool. It's still not a higher high that we need, but hey, it's better than going down, right? But one of the clues that I had that we would be okay is my bigger moving averages that I use here. If you watch my channel, one thing that you'll see different. Oh, we're getting rejected right here. Trend line there. She has a tendency now. Okay, we may catch here. I don't know if we will, but at some point I think we come up here and get rejected off that one first. But we may come back, retest this area, may retest lower. Just throwing that out there. Depends. It depends. But we're starting to see some rejection right there. If you were in a little small loan and caught this, I don't know if you're scalping. Well, you might want to be taking some profits, a little bit anyway. This is on a 6-minute time frame. She's not broken her trend line yet, and that's what I try to teach here. I try to teach trend lines, and how would I know to get out of a trade when you break a trend line like this? If I was scalping on this, say if I got in on an entry here, what would be a trigger for an entry? Well, I like to look for getting above the 9-moving average, these little swing failure patterns, getting back in here. There's a lot of things opening up through here, 79.5, 79.6. But the exit signal, or at least a strong take profit, maybe take 50%, 25%, say something if we break this trend line, because well, now we're coming back. Now, some people use these Christmas tree candles, and if they're scalping, I noticed that they like to take profits on the first red candle. I don't use the Christmas tree candles. I use Hakanashi. They kind of take some of that little ratty noise out of the picture and apply them other rules. And right now, it's not time, in my personal opinion. Well, I mean, other than the rejection, that's a good indicator to take some profit. Just seeing that, you got some possible, some people call them pin bar tops. But if the line gets broken, or if the 9-moving average gets broken, that's definitely a sign that you want to be paid a little bit, because we'll be coming down. Right now, she's playing with us. Might even come down on the 1 minute just to kind of see what we got here. On this one, I believe it actually has broken that trend. It's broken H. I don't know if it's broken the angle I have back here. She's above the 50 moving average there on this timeline. We'll see what she does. But technically, if I line things up a little closer here, it looks like she has. But we'll put things back to where they were. We're looking at it on the bigger time frame, 6 minute, right? Pardon me for just 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. 22 people.
Dreams of tomorrow in the blockchain's glow. Digital gold where the rivers flow. Wallet in my pocket, holding the key. Unchained from the past, we're breaking free. Crypto skies, they call my name. Stacking sats, never playing the same game. Decentralized, life shining bright. Blockchain beats in the pale moonlight. Truths in the networks deep, where trust is born, where promises keep. No banks, no borders, no strings to hold. Futures open, the streets are paved with code. Crypto skies, they call my name. Stacking sats, never playing the same game. Decentralized, life shining bright. Blockchain beats in the pale moonlight. Public ledger, truth laid bare. No middleman, no suits who stare. Nodes whisper stories peer to peer. Building a world we hold so near. Tribal beats in this wired up soul. Art and dreams under one control. NFTs painting skies so wide. On this digital wave, gonna ride. Crypto skies, they call my name. Stacking sats, never playing the same game. Decentralized, life shining bright. Blockchain beats in the pale moonlight. Streets are paved with code. Crypto skies, they call my name. Stacking sats, never playing the same game. Decentralized, life shining bright. Blockchain beats in the pale moonlight. Public ledger, truth laid bare. No middleman, no suits who stare. Nodes whisper stories peer to peer. Building a world we hold so near. Truth laid bare. No middleman, no suits who stare. Nodes whisper stories, peer to peer. Yeah, building a world we hold so near. Tribal beats in this wired up soul. Art and dreams under one control. NFTs painting skies so wide. On this digital wave, gonna ride. Whispers of code in the midnight shade. A world of gold where the rules are remade. No need for banks or the keys they hold. Just trust in the chain and the stories untold. Spin me a dream in the digital haze. Currency flows in mysterious ways. From zeros to ones, to fortunes they stream. We're chasing the light in our digital dream. Like a treasure chest, freedom calling, we're doing our best. The future's written in electric skies. Crypto's the fire that never dies. Spin me a dream in the digital haze. Currency flows in mysterious ways. From zeros to ones, to fortunes they stream. We're chasing the light in our digital dream. The rhythm of markets, it sings like a song. It pulls you in, makes you feel you belong. The blockchain hums a beat you can't fight. Hold steady now, 'cause
'cause it's gonna ignite like a flame in the storm. It flickers and bends, but this is a circle where trust never ends. Spicy and smooth, it dances tonight, a wealth of dreams in the soft moonlight. Whispers of code in the midnight shade, a world of gold where the rules are remade. No need for banks or the keys they hold, just trust in the chain and the stories untold. Spinning a dream in the digital haze, currency flows in mysterious ways. From zeros to ones to fortunes they stream, we're chasing the light in our digital dream. Treasure chest, freedom calling, we're doing our best. The future's written in electric skies, crypto's the fire that never dies. Spinning a dream in the digital haze, currency flows in mysterious ways. From zero digital dream. The rhythm of markets, it sings like a song. It pulls you in, makes you feel you belong. The blockchain hums, a beat you can't fight. Hold steady now, 'cause it's gonna ignite. Like a flame in the storm, it flickers and bends, but this is a circle where trust never ends. Spicy and smooth, it dances tonight, a wealth of dreams in the soft moonlight.
Across the sea tonight, dreams are spinning gold inside. Whispers say take the daring chance, feel the rhythm Bitcoin dance. Bitcoin by Londo, it's calling your name. Fate is a fire you cannot contain. Ride the wave where fortunes collide, a digital spark ignites inside. Life's a gamble, but Lightning strikes on the edge of fate. Leap of the brave, no time to wait. Path unknown, yet the beat's alive. Feel the passion, let it thrive. Bitcoin by Londo, it's calling your name. Fate is a fire you cannot contain. Ride the wave where fortunes collide. A digital spark ignites inside. I saw your face on a digital screen, a world of chance where no one's been. Golden coins, they call my name, a rebel heart fueling the flame. Crypto more, let it ignite, changing my world under moonlight. Dancing on air, chasing the thrill. Bitcoin love, breaking all will. A thousand dreams in a wallet's embrace. Fortune's kiss leaves a fiery trace. Spin the wheel, let the future unfold. A whisper of risks turns faith into gold. Crypto more, let it ignite, changing my world under moonlight. Dancing on air, chasing the thrill. Bitcoin love, breaking all will. Voices in shadows, they hum a sweet tune. Under the stars on a digital dune. No walls can hold this ethereal tide. Freedom in pixels where secrets reside. Crypto more, let it ignite, changing my world under moonlight. Dancing on air, chasing the thrill. Bitcoin love, breaking all will.
Ah, crap. Did I do that again? I never turned my microphone. My bad. My bad.
I saw your face on a
It has been one of those days, I will say.
a world of chance where no one
So I was sitting here going over XCN
coins, they call my name.
and going over it
A rebel
and showing how she's breaking some levels. I've been sitting here teaching and you guys didn't hear it. Okay, my bad. We'll get back on track. Dusty Hunt says that'll be the last time you misquote God. So that's not a verse in the Bible, but I do believe it to be true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was me talking about them Democrats. They did you guys hear that? They probably they salted my microphone there. All right, so we're looking at XCN after we looked at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, hey man, she's on her way up. don't know how much further she's going to get. We talked about that. She is retesting some areas. But we saw with XCN how it goes above some of those areas as an example. I was in full teaching mode, and well, I don't know if you guys didn't. Namaste. Let's get back on course. We'll get back into the flow. It'll come. Can't force it. It was bound to happen to me again at some point, and it did. It got me. All right, so we're good, right? Dang, Mercury should be about through. There's some lagging effects, but Jim says Bloomberg is still uber bearish on Bitcoin, calling for 10K based on GPT. They're freaking out. I've seen a lot of those things today. I've been watching the news and things like that, and they are so bearish on this market right now. And it should be, but it's going to be volatile, and I think we can have some really good trading seasons through here. I had to. And we're back. Man, I don't know how I missed all that. I should have caught on to that, right? All right, well, give me a second. We'll get back into our flow. I hate that was off because I was really going over some good stuff that tied into a lot of the fib stuff. It'll come back. And was my mic on when we went over here to macro Bitcoin futures? I've been watching this guy because the moving averages are different. These look good. Candle bodies closing above the 200, or mostly. I mean, we recovered it or so far. Doesn't mean that we can't lose it. But what I'm seeing in here, we might have some zigzags through here. Okay. We may see Bitcoin, come back down at 75 at some point and retest that, wick back down. But if we're on the right side of it, if we can change our mental attitude here and get going, and we can make some money on this. And one of the things I was saying when my mic was off, what I'm trying to do here on the show, and what I was trying to do with XCN, is to show you when I'm explaining this stuff. I'm trying to explain what I see, so that way you can pick up to it. You can add these tools to your toolbox. And so let me go back to XCN Onyx one over here, because that'll get me back into my groove. And I was pulling the fib, right? And I went from swing low to swing high. Tell me where I need to buy. And we caught support on the 886. That's a deep retracement. So if you listen when I'm explaining this stuff, these are the key things to point. They could take notes or add them to just park them in the back of your brain. These are reversal areas to look for. 886, that's a deep ass retracement. We would expect something at 786, but it's not solid. It's often a good place, but if we lose it, the 886 is our next one to really pay attention to. And combine that with a few other things like the 200 moving average. Pretty cool. Anytime that price starts breaking above and reclaiming that 9, especially after being on the bottom area, those are the signs. A trend line is showing you get a breakout and you get above a 9 moving average. Those are good signs. This is on the daily. But this little guy rocket shipped up after breakout. Didn't really give you a time for a retest yet. And this little guy seems to like me wanting to go up to at least 20 cents here on this one. That's not the correct fib for resistance there, or the one we're really looking for predictive. We'll come over here and go swing high to swing low. And this is how I track the health or the strength of this move with the fibs. It's very simple. This beneath 17 or 1.7 cents was the discount zone, the accumulation zone to buy this little sucker. And if you, whether you're watching this or any other chart, after we get in the bottom, these are the juicy areas to get in, and this is what I look for. And now that we're above here, that means we're trying to rock and roll, right? We can stay above 0.017. Or even if we do come back for a little retest, that could happen. We could come back down here. Juicy places to buy if she gets back in the zone. And we eventually want to make sure that we hold this area. And sometimes we might come up here to this next level, bounce down, and reclaim it. The biggest thing that I look for is just for levels to hold. Okay. And this one's a nice little strong runner right here. I like what she's done today. She's made my bags pump a little bit today, and I'm happy about that. Momentum is strong, but there's still a little quirk right here at this 360 moving average. We're not out of the woods yet, so I would expect this one to probably come back down. Probably about to 0.011, 0.012. And if you feel like you missed it, well, if you're patient, you can probably see that price again. But that was a nice little move. I had a little... I already set up my take profits. I think I mentioned that the other day, that I went in because I forgot about my spot bags, and I went in and I did. I set these little target areas. I think I sent them from a smaller. Was it here? Where did I take you from? Mine went at 0.717, and I'm not sure. I forgot where I forgot what gave me that target. I think it was this. I think it was the 786 I was looking at. Yeah, I think that makes sense. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about the microphone. Sorry about. I also apologize for chart school. I may have to move that to a different time frame because I keep falling asleep on Thursday nights. My apologies. The Dusty Hut says, no joke. Fib is my weakness. Hang around, ask questions. If you can afford $3 a month, you can join the charts, join the YouTube membership, and that's where I got the videos and stuff like that over Fibs and the Chart School series, which we missed tonight. My bad. And I said I was going to try to if I can get some time this weekend, I want to try to do that, because this is what I was going to go over, some of the a little bit more advanced Fib stuff that I think Ryan was asking about. How I get my targets and know where to take profits and things like that. Where I find my pivot levels, because there is a little bit of a method to that madness there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, altcoins doing pretty good. Fartcoin doing pretty good. Which ones are not up huge on the hour? My, XCN, you're at 19, so you just keep on going. Our beloved Fartcoin. Look, she came up to our little areas, and she's wanting to go past it. I was kind of expecting that to be like an area to take profit, or maybe short, but there's also this idea with a little inverted upside down spider woolly booger. And the inverted possible head, fat, shoulders, however you want to look at it. Oh my God, you draw the boomer pattern again. I did. You got measure move from this little guy. We go from right between the eyeballs down to his little spiky head there. Put it over here at the breakout, and it's suggesting that Fartcoin could, oh wow, $1.05? Could be hitting that $1.05 area over there. Well, that's pretty cool. We're on the 4-hour time frame here. We'll take this little box out here so it's not going to trip us up. One of the reasons why I think that you'll come back was you always, no, I'm going to say you always. Inverted head and shoulders, even though this one looks weird as F, it does meet the qualifications. Very solid neckline there, or a good solid neckline. Come back to retest that breakout area. You know, we could see 61 cent Fartcoin again if you're patient. She may go up 104 and then come back down here. It can happen. But this is a nice rounded bottom, and it looks like Fartcoin is slowly trying to make its way up to 150, maybe 177 there. Or higher. I'd like to see her get above $2 again. If I had to guesstimate, just going by what I do, it looks like this, depending on her trajectory, possibly back to 200 again. She could probably do that, but at least 177. This area that was once support is now going to be resistance, and it will continue to be resistance until a miracle happens, or we just go in a different trajectory. We just, get so far that we don't have to worry about that line much anymore. Ryan K says, yes, sir. Looking forward to learning more fib magic. I'm looking forward to going over it. It's been one of the life-changing, game-changing changers for me. Lady Marshmallow says, Dusty, you're in the right place. I knew nothing, but he taught me trend lines and fibs, game changers. Those have been really the two big game changers for me. Trend lines can tell you so much, more than what a lot of people see. A lot of people are trying to draw them where they're not even supposed to go, but they can project things. And if you ever see like crypto face with his spider lines, well, those are the same things, okay? They're trend lines just based on support resistance areas wherever. These lines are important wherever they touch and form an angle. If it's support and resistance, it's going to continue to have some weight. It may get weaker over time. A lot of times that happens, but it can help you. And if you understand that, and then if you also throw in the angles. And this is not really pattern trading, not so much pattern trading as it is more of a, well, I don't know, trend line. I guess it could be if you're looking for trend. I started paying attention to mirrored angles after, you know, going down a little bit of a Gann rabbit hole. And that's not like one of his main techniques or anything, I don't think. Or, well, I mean, I guess that's where I caught on to it. But there's a lot that you can do with trend lines. I combine patterns. I'm still a pattern trader, but I just combine it with the other stuff. But anyway, the whole idea is that, you know, if you're following along, I'm hoping you got your charts out too, especially if you're trying to learn this. I mean, or maybe you're just, you know, sitting around and, you know, we're trying to find us maybe a good deal, good coins, because sometimes that happens too. You guys throw things out, we look at them. Sometimes I'll throw things out and we'll find something, maybe have a good trade setup coming, or maybe a good take profit target coming soon. But really, if you're trying to learn how to do this, just get your charts out with me and follow along and ask questions. Definitely ask questions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a list of coins to go over because, well, like I said, I'm a little bit behind today. My bad. If you guys got any coins that you would like to look at, let me see if this thing still works. Are you working today? No, I'm not going to work. I'm only going to work on certain days. My little string box, for some reason. Do you work now? Well, I'm just going to copy. Will you let me? You won't even let me copy that? You're kidding. Will that work? Let me try this. Ha! I'll cheat the system. I'll put it up there. So if you'll submit your coin request, I'll know to look at it under this line, and we can start looking at some of those coins. Whoever says, Road Dogg, would you consider yourself a hybrid trader? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means exactly. Maybe I should find out. What is a hybrid trader? Hybrid trading investing is a strategy that combines multiple trading styles into one. If that's the definition, then yeah. It is used, huh? That's a new term for me. I don't really. It's a strategy that combines trading multiple styles into one. It's used by traders and investors to make profitable trades and investments. Hybrid traders often use fundamental analysis to identify stocks, but supplement their decisions with technical analysis, quantitative analysis, and statistical analysis. By combining different styles of trading, hybrid traders are able to identify profitable opportunities. Now, you know, the fundamental, I mean, that pretty much gets into the tokenomics with me, things like that. And I do pay attention to that. But I wouldn't say I'm a big fundamental guy. I'm not going to sit here and know all the news and what's going on with all the different coins I'm in, because I'm in too many, and that's going to change. TA, a lot into that. Quantitative analysis, statistical analysis, the on-chain stuff. I like the on-chain stuff, but that's not where I'm at. I pay attention to other people's on-chain analysis, but I don't go out there searching for the on-chain stuff that much. They use a variety of forms of analysis to identify profitable opportunities. Fundamental analysis used for stocks based on fundamentals, growth potential. Okay, that falls in technical analysis, definitely. This identifies patterns in the data to make predictions about future price movements. I would think that would fall into the TA a little bit. Statistical to analyze the data and identify opportunities for profitable trades. I don't know if I qualify exactly for that, but I do mix a lot of different TA styles. So I think my definition's a little different for that. So this market, we've got Bitcoin dominance. She's at a rejection point. She's in the red right now. Hopefully she gets rejected there, and then we can see some some action out of altcoins. The dollar has been tanking, but we've always thought that was a good thing. Ooh, is that a triple top? No, I don't think it's, well. Dollar. Usually when the dollar's going down, that's when Bitcoin has a pretty good time. So normally, I mean, I was always taught to like that and look for that, for the dollar to go down. And I think Trump's wanting it to go down. But on the news today, I'm hearing they're just like, the dollar's not worth anything. We're going into a depression, and all that. You hear all the fear mongering going. This tells me we got support here, and even though the S&P 500, she caught here on the 618 Fibonacci. I'm saying this because I think my mic was off, and we might come down and do a double bottom there. I wouldn't be surprised if we do something like that. So see a little up, see some more down. Oh no, the world's on fire. It sucks. Portfolio, and then this is where we start a slow recovery here. That could happen. I like that. So we're in for a little bit of a wild ride with Bitcoin and altcoins, and if we can get ourselves positioned right, we can take advantage of that. That's the message I'm really trying to send home right now. Bitcoin, we were down. No, she's dying again. She Bart Simpson or whatever everybody was saying. I don't know. We found support, baby. We found support. We're not out of the woods yet. We still got a lot of work to do. I'm not seeing us getting up here to 80. I hope we do. What I want to draw your attention to is this is Thursday night going into Friday. Then we go into low liquidity weekend where the whale games play again. And I'm so sick. I'm just tired of it, man. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired. This is the time of the cycle when I thought, oh man, we'd be picking out Lambo colors and maybe buying a Corvette for the wife, even though she wouldn't drive a Corvette to save her life. Oh no, the boomer who's going to drive. Don't do it. I hate that. Let's go with this one. This one's more fun. 72% chance that this pattern breaks to the upside after finding a partial decline, which this will qualify. She may be trying to break out now. I hope to see that. So I'm thinking tomorrow may actually be a little bit more bullish. Get retail, because retail is in the market. That's what they've been complaining about. I don't know why they're complaining about retail coming in to buy the dip. But on some of the shows that I've seen today, some of the news shows, that's what they're complaining about. Retail's coming in and buying the dip, and they know. But they could be getting retail baiting us over the weekend, and then doing another Sunday, Monday dump, and that they're going to play with us. They're going to play with us, but things are looking good. And as long as we can keep taking profits on the way, I think we're doing pretty darn good. We're not ready to rocket ship straight up to the moon with Bitcoin or anything else right now, but we got some good moves coming. And as long as you're not married to them, as long as you're not saying, I'm just going to diamond hand it from here, because we got some trading weather. A little ups and downs, a little rangy, and if we can play that right, we can actually accumulate and start building up for when we do go up. This is a good time to accumulate bags, in my personal opinion. Slowly, and definitely taking profits. That's going to be how you accumulate them. So we got some super chats going on. Let me come over to you guys real quick. We got DLZ Diaz, $5. Thank you so much for that. Passing on some of my small gains from what I'm learning. Pay the teacher. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. I am 100% crowdfunding. I'm not out here. I don't have a course to sell. I got a $3 YouTube membership thing, and I wasn't even planning to do that, but somebody donated memberships. I thought, well, let's add some value there. So we got some value over there. I do appreciate all the support. It does help because I'm not good at monetizing YouTube, and I'm not going to sit up here and be that guy that's every 5 minutes shilling a trading group or shilling a course or shilling an indicator or that. I just like to get into the charts and talk about them. Gilliard Marshmallow, tip the teacher. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. That really does help a lot. Makes my wife feel a lot better about what I do too. Because dang, the markets ain't paying right now. Unless you're that expert shorter. I think I was talking about that. I had taken a short from Bitcoin. I don't know if my micro's on, so I might be repeating some stuff, okay? But I've talked last night and even how hard it is to short the tops. Even if you know it's a top, it is hard as hell to get in the short and have that conviction that it's going to come down. Just like I'm sure it is for a lot of people to enter in on one of these bottoms. Because you can not get it, nail it perfect, and you go through little ups and downs, and is it going to roll over? I experienced that when I tried to short tops. But I had some decent shorts. I got stopped out a lot, but when we finally got some that took, and then of course they stop out and profit because now we come up and stuff. But I was giving a shout out to anybody that shorts the top and holds it, man, because that takes a lot. It takes a lot. All right, so I like what I see out of Bitcoin. Avi Benito says, "Don't we have a Fed meeting tomorrow?" I would not doubt it. Let's see. I don't see it listed. It should show up here on the bottom of the screen. Now here on the daily, let's talk about what we got on our indicators. We've had a confirmed green dot here with some bullish divergence on the momentum waves on Market Cipher, and it's been confirmed for a whole day. So we got a confirmation dot there. This is even more interesting. You got snake eyes. Now, if you follow CryptoFace with his little trading system on this is one of the big things that he looks for is the snake eyes. You might start seeing him streaming along. Or maybe he has been, I don't know. But that's a good sign for some bullish divergence here. However, currently the stochastics are kind of backing out on us, so. We, on the daily, we need to get above that 9 moving average. We hadn't quite done that on the daily yet, but it looks like it might be hopeful. And again, this is 100 moving average above the 200 that can give us a little lift, but we got a lot of work to do here on Bitcoin. We got a lot of work to do. It's still going to be janky. So this is trading season, and maybe some small DCA into some, really good cheap altcoins if you find them on a bottom on a big scary dip day. Definitely I would not recommend chasing them when they're in the green. We want to be selling when they're in the green. That's where we got to get our mindset right now. We want to try to get set up for these guys before the pumps, and then when they start pumping, like CRV, look at you, from 50 cents to 60 cents. And that's what I've been doing on these little guys. Look at CRV, possible bottom pattern showing up here, inverted head and shoulders would be what I would nail it at. Little slant to it, so the slant, in my personal opinion, can affect how they play. If we were to just draw lines and not try to figure out what little bit of a pattern that we have in there. And I always like to tell the story because before I ever learned TA, one of the reasons I didn't because it looked so hard to do, but I remember being in those Bitcoin forum talks. If you don't know what that is, it shows you haven't been in the game very long. And that's not a bad thing, but back in the day, that was where you got all your Bitcoin information, was this little forum called Bitcoin Talk. And then they had one called Altcoin Talk. And I remember OG saying, man, just channels and triangles. And I was like, that's too easy. You need to have what about this hidden shoulders? And what about all these little flags? And they said, hey man, I'm just telling you what works. I was like, I didn't want to hear it. But years later, after I learned TA, I went back to that and I was like, hey man, those OGs, well, they got rich for a reason and they knew some things. 72% chance this thing breaks out to the upside, taking us to 82 cents area. What else do I have anything else? I like to look for other things. I don't like to just go with one source. I want to verify. I want to get some confluence here. We got anything else that's giving us some ideas up there? Yeah, 0.5 Fibonacci, that little area that might make or break us. This little guy for CRV at the breakout, 60 cents. She may come up to 72, and get rejected there. That's an area. May go all the way up to meet the target. I'm sure that she will at some point. But whenever they can come right back and retest that area, is your pattern guru telling you that? Retest, highly likely, is as strong of a chance as you have to break to the upside on this one. You have that same percentage, almost right around 65% chance, I think, is. Don't quote me. If you want the actual statistics, you go do your homework over on Bukowski's patternsight.com. It's free. That's where you need to be learning pattern trading, not from some $99 guru that just makes up his own rules. Go get the real stuff that's been tried and tested. And I think you'll have a lot better luck in this market than spinning your wheels. I'm just throwing that out there. But there's going to be a good chance to come back here if you miss it, or if you take full profits up there or whatever. This one looks, she's trying to do something. This is the daily. She's at 60 cents. Now, the only chance that you would have here is doing a breakout trade. And moving averages still look tricky. I see a lot of stuff down here. She may fake us out. So far, it looks interesting. I don't think she'll make that one on her first trip. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? We got this breakout, retest, and we could be coming back down to these areas, 51 to 52 at some point too. CRV. So here, when you play these patterns, this is the only bad thing. You know, the first thing they teach you is breakout trading. And so the 1 hour is kind of skewed our trend lines there. We can line her up there. If we do this, she's just now trying to confirm this possible head and shoulder. If we're looking at this other pattern where we haven't got a breakout, what sucks about what you learn when you first break out is to buy, with pattern trades, they teach you to buy the breakout. Now, eventually, you get to where, like, well, that sucks, because there's lots of fake outs for that, where they'll bring price back in, or they'll play you on some ways. You're not getting the full potential buying the breakout, but that is, one of the first strategies that you learn. I like buying the bottom of trend lines and following trend lines, and especially if there's one established and it gets back above it. I like to get in on those guys. That's what I've learned, and doing that, you can see applying that, and you'll hear me talk about it a lot. When we broke back into the trend line, retested it, and boom, strong move. Happens a lot. This is a good strategy. I learned that from one of my mentors, which I don't know if he's around or not. There's rumors that he might be around. There's rumors that he might be goner. Just throwing that out there. Let me come back to the chat here. Thank you so much for the super chats. I do appreciate that. Jim says, I forgot they're talking about the liabilities tomorrow. Keep an eye on the bond market. Hedges are over leveraged, and if it burns, watch out below. I don't have the bonds pulled up on here, but yeah, there's been a lot of talk about the 10-year, and I think it's the 30. Is it the 30 or 20? I can't remember. I thought it was the 30-year that they were looking at. They're probably tied a little bit more to the real estate market. Let's see, I've got to get over here. Do you have bonds? Bond yield, 10-year, right here. Oh, I've got lots of, what the hell's all that? I don't know what I was doing over here. Typing while the other lands a taco wrapped up with allure. Crypto dancing in my head. So this is 10-year bond market over a long time. Let's see what we see. She's looking like she still want to go up. I don't know that Jim would understand the relationship of this to the overall markets better than I would. I'm more of a chartist, and crypto analyst. I don't have a whole lot of experience with all the little things to follow as far as stocks go. You got some lower highs, lower lows. That one's a little higher. That's lower. She may be trying to top out here. Let's apply some other metrics here. Let me draw a few lines here. She need to break this line. She need to break back below 3.97% to try to come down. I think they want it to come down, right? But if it's been coming down and we've been doing crappy, I really don't know. I don't know how this stuff works, to be honest with you. But I can tell you what she might be doing. And if she's at a level where she need to reverse a little bit, she need to chill out. She need to come down. But it may not be coming down too far. So we got that. She's still above a trend line. That's still strong. And 3.2. He's got the charts and Fibonacci lines. Calls the pivot points every time. So I could see a reason why we would come down to 2.7 or 3.2, and I don't know what effect that would have. Jim would probably have a comment on that. You don't want bonds whipping around like traditional stocks. When they do, you get a 2020 like crashes because over leveraged hedge funds and banks get trillions in bailouts. And I remember seeing something like that on the news. Bloomberg already pegging Powell for $2 trillion to exit positions. And see, that's something that I don't track. That's going to have an effect on everything, because you got the hedge funds out there are leveraging money on these bonds things, right? And what I remember the news saying is that if they get in trouble, then the Fed's going to come and bail them out again. They get a free ride when nobody else does, but they get a free ride at your expense if you're an American citizen. And right now, this is the 2 week. How are you looking? Right now on the 12 hour, they're trying to go up, so they're not trying to come down at the moment. On the bigger time frame we're looking at, is like, we got a target down here, but here on the smaller time frame, ooh. So as far as how it may affect us short term, looks like they're trying to move up there. Yeah, have you got to break out? Yeah, you do. So short term, we're going to see these little guys go up, and I don't know if is it good when they go up, Jim, or is it let me come to the chat. He may have said something earlier. So I would assume we have a Fed meeting tomorrow. Not that I can see, but we can go to Forex Factory. Hulid says, can you look at Solnick as well? Take a look at that. DOZ says, amen to that. I've been working on my short game. No pun intended. Mommy. I'm working on my short game too. That short game is going to come in handy when we go into the bear market, and then when they say you can make money both ways, yeah, you can. When it's choppy, we'll have opportunities. But the shorting will come in really, really handy in the bear market. Glittery Marshmallow says, no meeting on 420. Woo! Here we go. Glittery Marshmallow says, 1 p.m. CP commercial paper. Selected interest rates, assets, liabilities. Nothing that we really look for in crypto. Got too many clothes already, says Soul. Glittery says Mercury retro dates. March 14th, April 6th, July 17th to August 10th. Man, those will be, you can count on those. You usually have a choppy market during Mercury retrograde. That's just kind of a general guideline, and so far it seems to be kind of true. I don't like Mercury retrograde. That's just when I back off of everything. I just back off of everything. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm very susceptible to that. I start feeling it like a week in advance, and I start noticing, and I can. Wait a minute, this stuff is glitching. Everything starts glitching. Ken Stan says, how's Tezos? I haven't looked at that one in a minute. Let me back up and let me get my list from where I put my little marker out. We'll start looking at some altcoins here. Altcoin, here we go. So I would have missed it. Here we go. Let's get those. IONQ. Oh, they're stocks, says Jim. And RGTI. Then we got Doge. Peak looks interesting. I think Peak's, and then Solana. Some of the ones that we looked at recently, I mean, they started popping off. They started popping, and XCN and Fartcoin were a couple that we checked out. Hey, there's Celinda. How's it going? Says like Tino using vectors and order blocks. That's not the route that I go, but I got nothing bad to say about that. I like Tino. Tino's got a good feel for the legacy market too, and I like to listen to what he has to say sometimes when I catch him. I just don't ever catch him very often. Naka and is that DC Roo or DC, or is it DCR? Decred is also doing good. Now that's one that way we looked at. I think that might be what you're talking about, but I'll write that other one, DCRU. All right, whoops, there was one over here. John Frisbee, hey, welcome, my man. And that is NKN. We looked at that before. I can't remember what I said about it. Sonic, okay, I think I'm caught up on that. PPI data tomorrow. Okay. The pink moon won't appear pink. It's named after spring wildflowers. April's full moon. Oh, I didn't see that. April's full moon. I want to come back to this. The pink moon rises Saturday, April 12th, and peaks at 8:22. Smallest full moon of 2025, occurring when the moon is furthest from the Earth. Apology. Oops, now we got some other stuff. Ave is really tight with all that stuff, and he's been posting some of that stuff over in the GAN section of the chart room. And I love it because I used to follow that stuff to keep up with it, but I don't keep up with it every day. So I love it that somebody else is just posting this stuff. So Avi, I put this Astro stuff and I forwarded all that stuff. So there's now an Astro topic over there, and I welcome all the alpha that you got on that. Whatever you want to share, my man. It ties, I mean, it kind of overlaps. Gann used astrology and he used like planetary angles. Now he didn't like, oh, it's in Venus and it's going to, you know, it wasn't like applying a horoscope to his charts, but he would take the planets and the actual angles that they were to Earth and some other things. And crazy as it was, and from what I can see, it tracked price and also with time. It's a rabbit hole to go down, and you can spend more time in it than actual trading. So and it'll blow your mind. Let me give you a headache and everything too. But WD Gann was he was a very insightful genius, I think, applying a lot of different concepts to trading and analysis that weren't common back then. Some of the stuff that I think he learned in Freemasonry, to be honest with you. All right, let's get on to some of these altcoins. Let me check out one of Jim's stocks, and I'll check out an altcoin, and then I'll go back I'll switch it up a little bit. But on cue, let's go check out this stock first. That was the first request. And let's go with the weekly. Oh snap! What happened to you? Oh, well, that looks. Okay, well, I thought you were at $5, but no, you're really at $25. So she's going through a retracement. Looks like she's trying to do a bottom here. She's catching support. That's cool. I like what I'm seeing. Where's all my stuff? Did I erase all my I erased all my indicators again. Oh man. Oh, whew. I have to reverse it. I do that. I erased everything. I have to back up. Okay, let's go back.
Baby, can't you see? We're rich in love.
And let's go to the daily here. Daily on the 200 moving average. Other moving averages look strong. 100 up here. We're seeing that with a lot of things in Bitcoin too, and that looks good to me that we can come up here to 32 in that area, maybe a little bit more. So cool. I like that. If you look, if you're doing, you know, horizontal levels and everything, you can see where we also got that guy right. A lot of people do that. That's one of the first things that you learn. One of the first important things, the foundational things that you learn is support and resistance. Got to do that. Now some people are really strong into that over time, you know, and it's common to see that. When people start charting out, they'll always, you know, go with their support resistance levels, trying to find those, and that is solid. That is solid, and that's one of the things that Joe goes over a lot. I'm a little different. I lean on this, but I tend to look for the trend lines and diagonals. These are strong. These are the strongest. But I just believe that your market makers also pays attention to the diagonals, maybe. And I get a lot of insight from these guys. So you combine them. So here's our channel, which has started to squeeze on us. Now you could say we're in a falling wedge. Now, by the falling wedge rules, it's not ready to break out, but doesn't mean it can't. It's found a partial decline here. That's cool. Support looks like she's wanting to. Biggest thing is the trend line here. And depending on how you draw it, I mean, you could argue, man, she's already trying to break it out. I want to go from bodies to the wicks, because all those wicks they're respecting, you know, that around that same angle, just to give me a little extra confirmation for the breakout. And you can adjust this on the smaller time frames. Now it's fitting more in with candle bodies. Let me run it to the candle bodies. I like what I'm seeing here. I don't like that the smaller moving averages, you know, they're officially flipped bearish, but this is when we can start recovering them. It's respecting the bigger moving averages. That's what's important to me. Coming back to the 200, yeah, I'm still seeing 32 cents coming in, or $32 coming in. Let's fib her out, because it's just standard for me right now. And our same things apply, man. Same things apply. So we're still in the juicy buy area, technically, and we're trying to come up here to 32. So I've got all the confidence telling me $32 should be coming for you on this one. That would be from where we are now, or anybody that buys the breakout, somewhere around 20-24% gains possible. Could get a little higher than that too. I like it. I like that. I like that $31, $32 area, right around 32. So I would see her going up there and getting rejected, probably coming back, hopefully for a retest. Where we at? So I don't know how she's going to zigzag her way up there. So I just kind of just draw the overall, because when I try to think, well, she might do this and this, and you know, it never plays out the way I draw it. So I know we come up there, and I know that we can come back here and bounce here, or heaven forbid we ride his leg and test a lower area. That can, either one of those situations could happen, but these moving averages down here suggest that we might catch right back here about 26. So we could be moving up to 32 and then coming back down to the 26 area, bouncing through there a little bit. Let's move on now to Solnick. I'm not familiar with this. Looks like it's a Solana coin, Radium. Dex Screener might be the place to do this. Let's see what we got here though. Are you in, is this against Solana or pennies? We'll probably have to go to the Dex Screener for this one. I think that's the one I used, Dex Screener. We must verify that you are human. Oh, here's a chart that we've already had on there. What happened and what did it do? You tanked. Look to the upside. She lost her trend line.
Charts on the wall, yeah, calculator by the skies.
What is this? Edge.
Elliot waves everywhere trying to see the light. But this market's got him drowning. Oh, what a fight. He said,
We're going sideways.
guide me to the treasure.
She's in a nice little range right there.
And a whole lot of pressure.
All right, so we're looking for Solnick.
Roller coaster ride. I'm just sitting here crying.
Looks like we charted this one before, meme coin, and oh, looky there.
Tracement, he's skipping a beat.
That was a cautionary line. This was the buy zone. This was the buy zone. 786 retracements where she came down to bounced off up. Yeah, exactly. That's it's just that was the possibility place where it can bounce, and it did. So, all right, cool. Let's clear this off. See what we got.
He said, Elliot's supposed to
Let's make her big so I can see what I'm working with here.
but all I got is FOMO and a whole lot of pressure. Lines up and down like a roller coaster ride. I'm just sitting here crying in my coffee high tide. Oh, crypto seeds,
Always checking out my trend lines.
stay calm
So we had our 786 bounce. Yay!
and fingers on his palm.
And now
RSI is screaming over, but oversold.
we know that that is a good bottoming area.
Truth be told, he's just feeling kinda old.
So once we get an area that we get a bounce off of, we can pull our other fib,
Stop losses trade.
swing high to swing low, and same thing. We're finding resist. She rejected off of the 618. Now that's better than just coming up to the 0.5. So that's got hope that she can catch and maybe catch back here at this area she's at now. It may come back and touch the bottom of the trend line. Sometimes they do. It may be working on some kind of little double bottom, but right now she's trying to catch there. So there's some hopium that we will maintain that. Also another 786, so cool. And I'm going pure fib strategy on this little guy. And now for this line, we're just measuring the strength of this particular move. And so far she's holding this guy. That's good. So we need to see her come up and make a higher high. It would be pointing toward these two areas.
He's got more indicators than fingers on his palm. RSI screaming
And we could also, the easiest thing to do is go swing high and a swing low. Tell me where I need to buy. 786 coming up there with the other one. I got confidence on 786.
but he's standing still.
So 0.0093 area. If we're going to make a higher high, that's the one I'm going to go with for a target. That has a very high likelihood to get a hit. There might be a little front run target right here.
Never see the end.
Where's my things? Price label, yeah.
He said, Elliot's supposed to guide me to the treasure.
So we got a chance to do that, and if you're looking for any other smaller places, well, we could target them here. I mean, 63 cents. All these things are still good areas, but you might can fine tune a little bit better with the current fib. And so I want to see both of these guys for some shorter term targets. I'd be looking for that 618. Since we've been hitting 618s, I think she can go for that 618 again. She seems to be respecting that. And that could be 0.006 for about a little over half a penny. Doesn't sound like much, but you're at 32% to get there. If we can get up to our bigger targets, the main one being 0.0093 area, you can almost mean bag this little guy. If you're getting in now, or adding to your bag right now or whatever. And that's on the daily. Let's come down to the smaller time frames and see how she's reacting to that. That'll kind of see how well we're playing into those ideas. And she does have some places to get over. Support resistance flip right under our target. I think that would be our 0.5. So maybe we should look at that 0.5. See that one? Yeah. I was thinking we could probably get around not having to focus on that one, but smaller time frames are kind of revealing that. Nope, that's a little too hopium. And maybe she can get past it and then hit our other target, but short term, now I'm going to rephrase that to a nice little place to take. If you're looking for a short trade, place to take profit, maybe about another 22%. That's nothing to sneeze at. Let's take a look at Tezos. That was right. Tezos. Looking at it on Binance. Zoom out. Oh, you cheap now, ain't you? 54 cents. Falling wedgie never met the measure move that we had for that. They don't always. One of the shorter ones, it did. One of the more conservative measure moves that we took. Actually, we didn't put that at the breakout or anything, did we? Oh, we were doing the we're taking. I think we're taking our measure move. You put it at, where did you come from? The more conservative measure move, I guess. The breakout, then try. Anyway, when was all this? This was back a year ago, 2 years ago. She's been making higher highs and lower lows. She is definitely in bottom territory. I like the trend line. If we take that trend line and we apply this trend line, it may make sense if we come back to a candle body area.
Riding waves of midnight belief, promises turning into grief. Digital whisper says hold tight.
Kind of skips over when I go candle bodies. But I believe that this is basically the top limits there. So it looks like she might be coming back to test the trend line again. That would suck, but that could be down to about 49 cents. Might be 5 cents cheaper. She is not ready. Are you ready to do something yet? I'm not. You're a mixed bag. I'm not seeing that she's ready to do anything just quite yet. I don't think the big money's looking at this one quite yet. And it does look like we can keep coming down just a little bit more here. She's almost there. She's made a lower low from there. I'm still looking about for 49 cents out of this one. So unfortunately, she's not showing signs of being bullish just yet. Let's take a look at her indicators here and see what they're saying on the bigger time frames, like the daily. See where you're at. We should be working on getting. It shouldn't be too much further, just being a little patient, but I'd say that 48, 49 cent area is where we're headed back now to, and that's probably where she'll be getting a bounce. I would look for that. I wouldn't even DCA into this one until then, to be honest with you. Let's take a look at RTTI, that's a stock from Jim there. Computing, let's go bigger time frame here. Oh, nice, are you getting a bounce too? I'm on the daily for this one, and that's good. This is looking good. I don't know if she'll come back to the 200 moving average. It's possible. So far, I know she's looking like she found bottom right there. I'm not getting a good solid bounce on my fibs there. Sometimes that happens. I'm a lot more confident when they do line up a lot better, but ooh, yeah, you did that. So I'm going to pull mine from this low here. And she's not tuned in perfectly at all. But she is above the 618, and I'm going to mark that. And we'll still take this into consideration that we're going to go from this top down to this bottom down here, this little wick. We're not playing with these. We're playing with this one right now to see what it says. And you got a 618, okay. This one is being tricky with my fibs. I ain't gonna lie. All right, let me just keep on fibbing her. See what we got. There we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. All right, so let's take this guy off the table. Let's put you on the table. We got our 886 deep retracement from here. We got something we can work with. And now we'll go swing high to that swing low. And now we'll just kind of gauge it. And it looks like a possible double bottom. Eve pattern where we'll come up to the neckline. So that makes a good target at about 11.5 cents. 11.68 is what I got on the 0.5 Fibonacci there. So in my personal opinion, I think we'll come up to this area to try to confirm that pattern, and hopefully it will. If it does confirm that pattern, then you got a chance to double up on that and come back up here for a 1-to-1 move. So we're back around 16, possibly 15.10. So those would make some nice targets, and then of course we can always apply our trend lines and patterns. She's right at the place where it looks like she wants to break out from a possible descending triangle pattern. They can make nice little reversals. You got a possible double bottom there, so I like that. 618, you're also very relevant. So you got several. Man, I see a lot of little targets. All the fibs make good targets. They just do. But your measure move is coming up here. That might be, you know, your hopium target, the higher high. Let's see, we pull our fib. We did do that. 113 is up here. But I like this 1163 area short term, because that would be confirmation, and we need to get past that 0.5 anyway. So that looks interesting. From here, that could be another 28% just to get to that target. That's pretty darn good. We're getting computing right there. 27 people hanging out. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you very much, sharing your time with me.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Let's take a look at Doge.
Electric lights, neon bright, wallets
Doge been slammed down, hasn't she? There's some good signs here, though. So we already came down to the 800, and we've been talking to the devil right here. Got past her and get past the devil. That's a good sign. Let's just clear everything out. So I like what I got on the bigger moving averages. Now the normal moving averages that I look at without the big ones would tell me, oh my gosh, bear cross, we're getting ready to go down. It sucks. The bigger moving average are saying, oh snap, look at Elliot. Well, she could bounce here, or she could come down and bounce here. Elliot, that's why we don't have dinner anymore. That's all I'm saying. That's why we don't talk anymore. The bigger moving averages give that extra little bit of alpha that most other people are not going to see. And they're showing that we're at possible support levels. We can always go below them. Don't get it twisted. That can happen. But our trend lines and our moving averages are telling us that we should be right around the bottom. Let's do a fib. And yes, baby, we nailed that little 886. This one has a better chance than not of bottoming, especially since we're getting some red candles above that 666 moving average on the daily. So I'll take that. Now also, we got this death cross. Thumb, thumb, thumb. 100 over the 200. And if you guys have ever listened to me talk about that, from my experience, about 2/3 of the time, you can get a relief rally out of that little guy. Not necessarily the reverse, but it could be taking us up to 24 cents again before we, kind of bounce around a little bit. This is when I pull out my fibs. Oh, check you out. And I want to take this latest high. And look, I'm so impressed with our 236 because it'll nail support resistance. When I see this, I'm like, hell yeah, baby, we're playing this one. 20 cents. Telling me we can go right back up there and touch that little guy. And that's the guy that we got to get past before we can start making it up here. And this one's on the table too, that 24 that we saw. So our fibs are pointing those targets out for us. Not going to happen tomorrow. Probably is not going to happen this weekend unless, it's a fake out. But now that we have that, now we can zoom into something a little bit more local, like the 4-hour. This will carry us into the weekend, and we can see our Sunday action and all that stuff and kind of forecast our weekend just from this time frame. And she is, dare I say, she may be breaking out. We got a candle, confirmed candle above a trend line. Candle bodies to candle bodies. That's a nice first sign. There's no volume behind it, so I would kind of we'll maintain it. I don't think there's she's breaking out. Let's jump in. I mean, you can, but just know that it may be a little lackluster without the volume, and we are headed into the weekend. Weekend's prices are starting to point towards 17 cents. It's nice. It's nice. We got our double bottom here with a higher low. That's cool. I like that. I'm going to take trend lines from wicks to bodies to get a little bit of a steeper trend line. Could go wick to wick. There's a lot of different ways that we could do this. Probably one of the best ways. One way that I do trust is if I take the top angle. Bodies to bodies. Man, this is a little janky too, aren't you? You're just a little janky. Yeah, okay, so that don't fit. We'll just go back to standard rules. Wick to wick, we'll do that. Or body to body, I'll go wick to wick. That kind of fits with our channel idea. That also points out here we're taking, oh crap. just go bodies to bodies. When I take my angles, when I'm trying to get an angle, that's my general rule, is I go body to body. If I'm trying to identify a channel. And why would I want to identify a channel? Because it gives me information that some people aren't going to be looking for. Because the top of the channel will be a nice little resistance point. And if I got other signs, such as these moving averages over there, that also points to that. I might be heading to 17 cents. And if I want a little extra confirmation here, I'll see what we got. My 1272 coming right there, that same area. Love it. So if you watch my channel for a while, I'm not trying to be braggadocious or anything, but nobody nails everything perfect, but you'll notice that I do call out and do get a lot of pivot points. There's a method to this, and it's called confluence, and this is what's doing it. When I got a lot of things pointing to one certain price level, well, that guy usually gets hit. That's what I look for. And it's a little bit better, in my personal opinion. A lot of people are just going to be, you know, doing something like this. This is a popular teaching out there, and nothing wrong with it. They would probably take it to the top and wherever. The technical way would be Bukowski. I had to alter my thinking on doing bull flag ideas. Bukowski and a lot of the OG traders, they recommend taking it from the bottom, and that's more of an AB equals CD move, to be honest with you. So that resonates with me, and I've had better luck getting more accurate measure moves from that. But you could play that. Just know that, you know, flags are the worst ones to hit their measure moves, okay? They can. The earlier ones are more likely to do it than the later ones. Like if you see 3 flags stacked on each other, that third one's probably not going to play out for you. And even if you study Thomas Bukowski, you see that there's a multiplier to apply to these. They kind of help you narrow in where they might hit. I'm getting 16 cents. They're getting 17.6 might be a possibility up there. Trend line here, channel line, all that's kind of pointing me in the 17 cent area, which is not too big from a come up here. But we got that, and also if we were just to zoom out, now I was using some micro stuff, and the real thing to do, just the easiest thing, is to zoom out and take a fib from swing low to swing high, and you look for the 0.5, give us that same area. Because that's the area that we need. That's our make or break area right now in the market when it comes to fibs. Right now it's the 0.5. I know everybody keeps talking about the 618 and golden pocket and all of that, but where we are right now, until we get past the 0.5, we're in rollover territory. When we get past the 618, we're in some good areas to start looking for up, and that's a target. 618's a target, and that was also, we got something right up there close to it. So we got two possible targets, and one a little bit more bullish than the other. They're both legit, but this one is probably the one that's going to stick the most, or the one that's most likely to hit. If he gets past that, and of course we can look for higher. So Doge, I think it looks interesting, and that was just me going in micro. It's always best just to go out big, and you know we are getting something there. And if you're taking a measure move just from this guy, well, this kind of megaphone pattern, just go from either way. Put that at our breakout, and there's a possibility. I would trust this more than trying to do the flag. This is what I'm trying to say. I would trust, if pattern trading is what speaks to you, I would trust the bigger patterns. And that, I don't like that. That sucks. You get more touches here, 3 touches on this side, more touches on there. It makes it a valid one. Your bigger ones would be better than just trying to go in the micro times and just trying to find every little flag. And I know that's a popular teaching right now, but I'm just saying, when you zoom out and apply the bigger patterns that you're in, that's really the ones to listen to. It's telling us that 19 cents could be on the table. So we might come up here, get rejected, do a retest, and then start working our way up to the 19 cents, which is also 786 Fibonacci. You see how this stuff intertwines and how this stuff kind of works out? This is why I use these together. And then when they do this, it just seems to work better. Not perfect. There's no perfect system out there. Nothing's going to give you the 100% answer of what we're going to do. But this strategy that we got here, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good one. These tools that we use, they're pretty good. The little indicators, now that I'm going to look over at them and see what they're saying. There's some bullish divergence. What do you look like? I like the MACD. What are you looking like, MACD? I've noticed that I'm starting to see some nice action on some of the MACDs, and even on the weekly on some of these guys. Did I put it down here? Some of the ones I was looking at, XEN on the weekly, I think. Let's go back to Onyx coin there. Nope. What new was it? Was it the daily? Oh, you've been doing that. You've been showing signs on the daily. Now, how crazy is this? Oh, that was a divergence. That was definitely not the time to get in. Some people would see that as a sign of time to get in, and I probably did too, to DCA into it. I would have been looking for that as a DCA signal when we crossed bullish on the MACD. Of course, we had divergence in that. So, well, in other words, we kept one down even though that wanted to go up. What was Decred? Now this is one I talked about, and I think this is the one you were talking about, Cooler Marshmallow. I may be wrong. I have to come back to the chat and check it out. Decred against. They found a good exchange. COINEX. I like them, COINEX. I don't know how long they've had it there. You're not on Binance anymore, Decred? KuCoin. KuCoin's a good one. I'll probably have a chart here. Okay, so Decred. I want to look at the MACD on it. I like what I'm seeing here. Now, she's not giving us a signal, but it's starting to... I'm seeing a lot of these altcoins on the weekly, some of them, not all of them, starting to show some good things preemptively on the weekly MACD. I like what I'm seeing here on some of these. They're getting ready. They're gearing up. They're starting to gear up on some of them. 3-day is already crossed, and Decred has been moving. She's finally starting to move, and now this is one of my dark horse plays, and she's been a dark horse, and I say this a long time. It's not on this chart. This chart doesn't go back as far enough. All right, boy, you suck. Oh, COINEX, you got it from that long? I didn't know COINEX has been around that long, or did they just borrow all of them? She hung around $12 last cycle, and she went all the way up to $250. This is a proof of stake, proof of work hybrid coin. I like them. They've been around for a while. I think since 2018. I thought memory coin. I think this memory coin's got potential, and I think that she can go up to close to 200 again, maybe more. There's only 21 million of these. Okay, just 21 million, just like Bitcoin. One of the appeals. You might even say it's maybe an improved version, you know, kind of, people are trying to make an improved version of Bitcoin. This is, I mean, and at some point in this market, I think people will start noticing these things and start playing them, because Bitcoin is going to be too expensive. When Bitcoin gets to $250,000 a coin, don't you think there's going to be another one that comes up, another silver to Bitcoin's gold, just like there was Litecoin back in the day? And I don't know if it's going to be Litecoin. It might be, but I think Decred could be a good, strong contender for that, because I like the tokenomics, and I like what the project does. And there's a little bit of a privacy element to it too, which also makes it very appealing. But anyway, she's been moving, and she's gotten up to $25 before. She's gotten up to $32 before. Last March, she got 32, and then December, she's when the market peaks, she peaks too. Hopefully, in the bull market, she'll do a lot better than all this. But I would at least be looking for her to get up to $20 here, and she's at 13 now on the weekly. Will you do it now, darling? Will you do it now? I'm seeing that resistance over here on the 4 hour. I would like to see her level out over here and start trading and holding $14, $15 again. That's what I'd really like to see it happen. I don't know that we're going to. I don't know if we're going to hit 20 yet with the moving averages from what I'm seeing here, but she is definitely trying to do something. And where she wicked up to about $15, almost $16. That will probably take her candles up there, and I don't know. We probably double top there. It's kind of what I'm seeing short term. But I think this one's definitely, and then we will probably come back to around 12 again because she likes to do that. But she's moving now. Let's take a look at. I'm going down my list here.
I saw the charts, I saw the hype, but I never invested.
Actually, let me come back to the chat here. Kind of. Justin X Crypto says everything looks juicy. There's some of them are. Yeah, I agree. I'm seeing some things on some altcoins. Strong Short Soul says Trump wants to issue another stimulus payments from downloading apps. I think, from what I understand, I think he would like for Jerome Powell to come over and kind of help with liquidity and maybe print a little bit. I don't know what I'm just going by what I'm catching on the news and everything too, and trying to piece it together. Oh, you onto something. I love it when our charts look the same. I know I'm learning. Thank you, Rodog. There you go, Cleary Marshall. You're out here doing it. You're doing it. You're learning. That's all you got to do, baby. You put it together. It'll start clicking. It will start clicking. Just keep doing what you're doing. You seem to be doing things right. You're taking notes. You're paying attention. You're doing good. And it'll start clicking. Strega says I'm seeing some green. Did you go to the dispensary? Ryan K says it makes me feel much better. Your teaching is working. I came with some very similar. Cool. Canstan says, can't make the scene if you ain't got the green, as Jim Carrey said in the movie Mask. You guys are awesome. Off to work. The taxman's revenue. Hey, thank you, MG Motorsport. You may already be gone, but I really appreciate your support here on the channel. I do thank you a lot. Over in the land of Down Under. It's the morning time for him. All right, so here we are, Decred. Let's move on to. We did that. Now I can't read my writing. What was this? Oh, peak. I think this one has been doing pretty decent, hasn't it? She's finally, yeah. All right, so automatically from the rip, if we're pattern traders or something, we should be, our most systems, W bottoms is what they're often called, M tops, or double bottoms, atom and atom. There's so many ways to say this. But in essence, I'm going to throw this idea out. You still got a side. You got a channel. You can always boil these things down to channels and triangles. I'm going to keep saying what the OGs were telling me back in the day that I didn't listen to, because they're richer than I am right now. I'm talking back in the days of 2012, 2013, when Bitcoin was cheap as F, and they knew enough to buy it and hold it. I didn't. I didn't have the conviction for it back then. 17 cents area. I like what I'm seeing here on the bigger moving average. I'm on the 2 hour, by the way. They're trying to. we're trying to do a flipping in here. All right, so let me zoom out to the daily. I like to go big to small. And this was an area, this is February this year. So for short-term plays, short-term targets, I would take a local high, come down to our bottoms here, and then we can fib her out, and we can see how strong she is just from that level alone. And so based on that, anything below 13 cents is juicy. Based on this high, anything below 11 cents was the juicy buy zone. That's how I use this thing. From here to there, where are you at? See, I wouldn't want to do this because I think she's got much more potential. I would want to go from this one here at least to get my targets. This is coming in close to our 0.5. Any other good areas? 15.7 short term. That one's showing a lot of areas. Ichimoku Cloud is suggesting the 17 cent area over here, just a little higher. If I had to guess, I would think we're looking at 113 territory from our short term. So I like these two areas, 17, almost 18 cents that we could hit within next week or so, maybe. It depends on how fast she wants to go up. Seems like it takes about a week for her to get up to where she wants to go, or more. A week or two to get there. But that could be happening, and from where we are now to there, is it 40% gains, 44% gains? So $100 turns into $150, $160, maybe something like that, somewhere, you know. That's not bad gains to do over a couple of weeks. $1,000 if you wanted to go that high, turn into $1,500 or something like that. So we got those ideas. I like Peak. I've added to my bag a little bit since she's down here on the low lows. And we're trying to do a double bottom situation down here. It may take it a while, but there is a measure move that you can do from that, and that would take... Oh, snap. I messed that up. Let me zoom in. That's pretty much about lined up. I'm going from over here. Well, they're both right around the same. Yeah, double bottom. Put that over here, and she suggested close to that wick, 24 cents. Take it a while to get there, but we'll go ahead and label that as a measure move. So when we come back to this chart, in, a month or two from now, see how it does, and say, "Oh, you suck, road dog," or whether some of this stuff actually kind of works out. That's pretty standard, pretty basic. I like what I got there. Let's take a look at Solana. Oh, dang. Where did you go? Okay, this is the daily, so she wasn't too bad. You went down to 111 today, Solana? Did you really? Well, coming down the smaller time frames like the 1 hour, she's making higher highs and higher lows. So the lowest she got down was that 94, and that may have been the bottom, or at least a local bottom. Remember, we are still kind of janky over the next little bit. Anything's on the... I don't want to say that we've got total bottoms in on any altcoins yet, because we still got a lot of stuff to fight through. If we were looking for a steeper... If you're following this trend line, you got to break out and retest, and that's cool. Your bigger picture is not ready to play out though. Oh, it did. Okay, we did this. That's called a crappy breakout. Probably had no volume behind it. No volume whatsoever behind this breakout. This is volume. This is volume, but nothing there. And without that volume there or that breakout, she didn't do so well. It was a lackluster breakout. It's the worst kind. A trend line could help you a little bit, you know, if you break it, nah, crap. But she just rode the leg down. That's how I describe these. They suck. And so for breakout traders, this is another variation that can get you caught up. Oh, look, we're breaking out. I'm going to buy the breakout. Look, she's a flag into the upside after a breakout. You know, that's what a lot of people are looking at. She broke out and she's doing a flat, and it's something to look at. Measure move never got hit on that little sucker, even though it came up to a nice area. This is one reason, and Joe points this out on his channel. When you're a breakout trader, and this is, you know, a conservative trick so that you don't get caught in the wrong thing, but yeah, and you hear Joe talk about this in breaches all the time. With a breakout, if it doesn't get past this level over here, well, you might have, it may not work out for you, and that's a valid point. Right? I'm not going to debate that at all. And if it loses one of these areas that we've had before, that's not good either. So if you're taking it level by level or either by my trend line, they would have converged right there at that area. Say, oh man, that sucks. And then some people might be like the head and shoulder, even though that's kind of a janky one. Maybe it is on the smaller time frame. I'm picky about that pattern because I think people just kind of go a little crazy with it. I think the trend lines can do more for you than patterns, to be honest with you. Patterns just show what price action is doing, and if you actually read the description on them, like Thomas Bukowski, they'll kind of tell you what's happening, where price is squeezing, and explain what's going on with those patterns, price action wise, rather than. Yeah, and then you got some people just, you know, they Google a pattern, look at the shape, and say, I'm going to trade it. And some of those people actually teach here on YouTube. Solana is still got a lot of work to do. She's still got a lot of work to do, and I wish I had something really positive to say about you right now. I do. I've got some positive things to say about you on the bigger time frame. And that's where it really counts. You do have some bullish divergence. Now you got support on the 800 moving average. Maybe she will stick. And she can also, we can still see $68. Don't get it twisted. 800, 600, 300, 200. I like that. That gives me hope. That gives me hope that maybe this 800 will stick. And we know we got an internal trend line. And we can keep putting it there. It does respect that angle, so now we got a barrier that we got to break out of. And that's fine. That'll help us figure it out when she's actually starting to get bullish. Right now, she's still wondering. She might decide to get out and then ride that leg back down again, like she did the last time. Is it possible? Tell me it's not so. Is there any other way that we can figure out if she's bottom? We'll do a few little tricks. I think we might have a little something here too. Yep, I like that. We got a 1618er right there. She went full on. All right then. I don't like the cloud. I don't like what the cloud's saying. It's a mixed bag of good things and bad things, and it tells me she's going to have a shaky time. 141 is where we got a target. So that's where we're looking at. That's just for her health. She needs to get up there. Hopefully sooner than later. What you might be seeing, considering that line, is that we are breaking out of some kind of channel, and a lot of times you will see some type of head and shoulder pattern form as another bottom pattern. And I think that could happen here. So that means we may be zigzagging between 140 and 120. And if we do play that little sucker, I would look for that. Doesn't mean it's going to happen though. But that might be one possibility. And then that could get us back up to these areas, about 170, maybe up to 180. So far, it looks like we might have, this might be a little bit more likely than here so far. But that can, I want to say that can change. We got to keep our eye on it. I don't like smaller time frames, the 4 hour. I mean, all these things are bearish. She's trying to recover these areas, and so we got to see some ribbon flips. We got to see some moving averages starting to flip over bigger. We got to see some 200 moving averages being recovered on smaller time frames, on up to like the 4 hour or something. I'd like to see it recovering here, and that's going to take a little bit. So Solana's having a little bit of a hard time. I'm probably sure that maybe Radium and Jupiter are too. Let's take a look at Radium. She was at a juicy price, man. She's like at 170. She got down to 145 there, looks like. I think this one's a pretty cool play. Also, when we zoom out on the daily, I recommend looking on your altcoins on the bigger time frames. Make your plans on the bigger time frames. Try to execute on the smaller ones. This area right through here was at 440. We got 200 moving average right around $4. It's trying to cross bearish. Again, your bigger moving averages look pretty decent. We'll probably range through here. But she got up to $8, man. I was like, oh man, I missed it, because I remember when she was down here before, and I was like, I had some, and I think I got out over here somewhere. I was like, I wasn't really expecting it to do much, and I think it's a little bit of a janky exchange, or it used to be when I used it. And I lost my conviction for it, so I didn't hold on to the bag of it. I wish I had it, because it actually did really good. And I think she can do it again. And I can at least see $3 coming. Got to get back up there. We wicked up there before. That was this area that we lost. The fibs don't lie. Like Shakira's hips right there. Hey, Shakira. I could stare at her all day. Anyway, I got distracted there. We can also, to get a better fib, I mean, you can also use a lower fib. We just drag it down to this top before we started. And we got this one over here. We can do 2. That one will probably give us more use. Back that up. So this move down to here, that was, you know, that's our last impulse move, and that's a good one to go with too. And so for shorter term target, 220, same principles apply. Let me back that one up. I didn't draw that line. I'm gonna draw that. So at 311, and nail it in. This is a strategy into itself here when you're trying to. I use this a lot when I'm trying to build bags on bottoms, and this lets me know where the good places are to get in on these bottoms. Oh man, I keep moving it. And so we got 2 areas that we need to come up to, and they make 2 very good targets. I like that cloud getting all thick, and I can even do it here. And here it tells me, oh, we're above the juiciest discount zone was about 158 and below. But now we're starting to climb it. Oh, I'm getting sleepy. We're starting to climb that little fib ladder now, right? We got above the 236, and we've not started closing candles above 169 at 382 yet, but it looks like it's trying. We're trying to do it. Work our way up to 178, 187, hopefully $2. We're just trying to work our way up. Fibs are amazing, and depending on what you're trying to do with them, you can use them to gauge the strength of a move. You can use them to gauge pivot targets. You can use them to look for future targets, like you're looking into the future. You can roll them out, and it's like they already know what's built. I don't know. It's weird how price action just kind of has this information coded into it, and the fibs help you decode it. It's like a decoder ring. They're amazing. And the more I use them, the more they start talking to me and they're revealing their secrets, and I love the rabbit holes that the fibs take me down. I recommend everybody go down that rabbit hole whenever the time is right. And the crazy thing, I couldn't find any information on Fibonacci. I searched the whole time for the last 4 years. It was, if you go back and you watch my channel, when I first started, I used to do my videos and I used to start doing my streams. And all I know is that there was this magical fib number there was this magical fib extension called the 1272, and the 0.27 is the first one. The first person I ever see use this was a Forex trader, and they didn't even have the 2 on there. They just had that, and I saw them do something amazing. And they called out that level on Forex when price was doing something, and that's where it went into hit. It's like, what's this? This is where, and I was like, how did you know? And ever since I saw that, I was like, okay, I gotta find out what this. And he never did crypto or anything. He was some Forex trader, but he never explained what it was, and I never learned what it was from him. I just saw that, and that's the only clue I had to go by. And I searched and searched, and I couldn't find anything to really explain how fibs work. Most everything tells you, look at the 618. See, you came down to the 618. That's a good place to buy. That's all you could find on Fibonacci's. There was nothing else. But I did have to do some studies, and slowly it started opening up to me. Slowly it started making sense. I started looking into harmonics on fibs. That helped a little bit. It's very confusing as all get out. And then I had to do a little study, and these guys helped me out. And then the AB equals CD move, Thomas Bukowski's pattern site, that's what we're going to be talking about a lot in the next chart school. But doing some little research and study. And it amazes me how they can make a McGraw-Hill textbook, college textbook, out of a simple thing that you can probably explain in about 15 minutes, to be honest with you. But, you know, hey man, you got a book deal out of it. Carolyn Broden. And she's a legend in her little circles. Everybody's wondering how she's doing what she's doing, and it's Fibonacci. I think she's more of a stock person. But she also combines a time element with that Fibonacci, and that's very interesting too. You can also get that time element by just taking the angles. You can also get into that. It's something. It's something to look at. You see that I'm not really used to the. All right, so we looked at Radium. I'm going to take a look at Jupiter since it's also tied to Solana in there and see how it's doing. Radium looks interesting. Jupiter. What do I got here? Stumble on previous fib level to what? Was this what I had? No. This wouldn't have been my 414. I think I was trying to do a predictive fib thing. Is that right? Okay, I recognize what this little box would be. I'm just trying to, yeah, that was you. So here we are again with our Fibonacci pivot points. Right over here. And, nailed it! And it's the fibs. Alright, so Jupiter may be at a bottom. She's definitely at a bottom pivot point. This is where we should see her do something. I would love to call this as the bottom, and it might possibly be the bottom, but it also might be a bottom. But it does suggest that it is. There's a little whisper that it might be the bottom. Okay, I'll throw that out there. But we want to go. We want a confirmation. It's good to say, hey man, fibs are saying it's the bottom's in. Maybe they are. But the smart people wait for confirmation. And that's just it. You got a lot of things to work through here. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Even your old support resistance people right over here looking and seeing that. See that? I'm willing to bet there's a 236 there somewhere. Probably from, is it from you? Oh. Yeah, but you didn't nail it. You didn't nail it. Did I not? Is it something did I do something wrong? Usually they nail it a little bit better than that. We'll keep that idea online. Here's a guy we can pull for local price action. So let's get these ideas off of here, and let's start finding some targets for upside. 618's coming in, and the 0.5. This little area is coming in loud and clear. I'm just going to make him a box. So 48 to 45 cents. We'll have to work through that. What else are we seeing here? We're on the daily. We don't have enough price history to get all the big major moving averages in, but we can see we are on a total resistance flip. Now, here's something about the moving averages, okay? When they're tight, when they're all grouped together, we're looking at how they cross, what ones cross over which ones, and that gives us insight. That's what a lot of people that use these multiple moving average strategies, some of your gurus that are trying to put up all these moving averages, I don't know if they're there to look cool or what, because they never talk about them. They only talk about one or two, and so I don't think they understand how that works. But the way they cross, which ones cross, that tells me a lot. And I try to verbalize that and articulate that, what I see. That's why you see when I'm talking about a cross happening or something, that's me teaching and showing you what I see and what I expect to happen, and then we see if it plays out or not. And it's a good way to see what things are going to do. This helps you track the momentum of the moves. We don't need you anymore. Oh, I just put you up as resistance. Oh, my bad. We do need you. That's short-term resistance I'm seeing right here. But the one I'm really interested in, I mean, is the bigger moves here on the daily. When we were at 128, and now this is our bottom. And now I'm going to look at my... Oh, I do. I got some respect. This may be the bottom. That may be the bottom. I would like to sit here. It would be my vanity to come out here and put the little text, I'm calling bottom. Because honest, I mean, we got signs that it is, but there's still that little thing saying, I mean, I'm getting a little confluence here with the fibs and everything that this might be the bottom, but it's not important. It's a good place to look at getting in. That's all I'm saying. And we'll be coming up to 53 cents, 68 cents. These fibs are lining up beautiful. 79 cents, possibly back up to 91 on Jupiter. You need to get back above $1, man. Let's go over to our indicators and see what they're saying. You look juicy. I think you might be the bottoms. Daily moving, it's not crossed yet. Ain't got a confirmation yet, but it looks like it's a coming. We're getting above the 9 moving. We haven't done it yet. Get above that 9 moving average on the daily. That's definitely, that would definitely be a signal. How I would play that. Okay, if you're a conservative, more of a conservative trader, you're looking for confirmations and you want to be a little bit more conservative so that you don't get your ass handed to you as much, not as much of a degen. I would wait till you cross the 9 moving average on the daily and then zoom in on the smaller time frame and then start formulating a plan. So I would come after doing that, and we're almost there, right? So I would, I feel comfortable coming to the 4 hour and starting to look to see what do we have pattern wise or whatever, trend line wise. Trend lines, this is our basic trend line. According to that, we got a breakout. Volume, they had volume on the breakout. That's good. Falling, well, price has been falling. That's looking okay on the 4 hour. So I'm seeing some good signs here already. 9 crossing the 50, that's good. We're going into a thickening cloud. I'm looking for a little sliver of green to come over here. That will be a good sign. 4 hour indicators, stochastics going up, money flow's going, that's a big one. The red is starting to come up. That's good. Momentum, this is looking good. But the more conservative one would wait for the confirmation on the daily, get above the 9, and then come in and see whatever you could do, which would be what I'm doing here now, like, after that, right? But I'd be looking for any setup, so we'll give a breakout possibility, give it some time to play out and get in. By the time this breaks out, it might be okay on the daily, I don't know. Here we are on the 1 hour above the 200 moving average, and if that's your strategy, and that's a popular one out there. That one I'm familiar with from back in the day when I used to have bots, And that's when I first got into crypto and my first trading. I was going to let a bot do it for me rather than learning TA because TA looked too hard. Bots are a lot harder. Oh my God. Especially if you don't know TA. If you know TA, the bots would be easier to program. If you don't know TA, I learned all these indicator strategies as I'm programming the bot, because you get to pick and choose and see which ones. And the bot I was using, you could customize it to do whatever you wanted to, basically. And I didn't know I was getting educated with. I mean, that information actually it helps me out a lot now with the bot strategy and indicator strategies. But the 200 moving average, that's, I mean, when you're above it in whatever time frame, you're bullish, and when you're below it, you're bearish. And so, and some people use that on the, they'll start 1 minute, and that's cool. The only thing is, unless you're zooming in from a bigger time frame, and I don't mean like the 5 minute to the 1 minute, I mean like, daily 4 hour, 1 hour kind of walking down to set things up, you can get your ass handed to you, because the more you go on the smaller time frames you go, the more that they cross those lines, and there's not as much movement. It just keeps crossing up and down. You can go to the 10-second chart, and you'll see how many times it crosses above the 200. So the strategy that you hear told, you buy it when it crosses the 200, you sell it when it crosses down. There's a bot strategy, and it at best it might break even. Okay. And if you look at the gurus that were doing that, their accounts basically just kind of break even over time. I haven't been watching the guru lately. I've just said screw it, and I feel a lot better because of it. I've been watching some more intelligent people that actually have a better feel for the market, and I feel much more intelligent for it too. Annie from Trade Travel Chill, I'll give her a shout out. She's a good one. And she talks about good things that you need to hear, not just trying to, hey man, do what I do. Drink your lemon water every morning. Positive vibes. Having somebody that can actually articulate what they're doing well or what they're looking at, and Annie does a really good job of that. And her experience in the market, I like that. She had a good video today that was talking about trading and her story of trading when she started out with a $1,000 account back in the day, and how she's lost it, and those are the things that those are the things that are helpful. Those things are helpful because you see, there's stages to this game that you got to go through and learn from, and she did a good video today talking about that. I agree with every one of those. Jupiter at 37 cents. That's better than where she was down here. She double bottom. Look, the bridge pattern that we got on Bitcoin. Could this? Oh, let's do this. Let's have some fun. Price action mimics a lot, right? Can I copy this? Copy. Can we take this to Bitcoin? Oh, well, you're already kind of doing something like it, ain't you? You already. Is that you? Okay. Whatever. Well, this is not as helpful now because now I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? Am I looking at? Oh, you're the bot, huh? Okay, I see. Try to get this little that's nothing like it. Anyway, I got lost there. Are we doing something? Could you do something? Okay, we're getting too weird and speculative is getting out there. I'd rather just stick to what works. Bitcoin on the 5 minute. Hey, we're getting our breakout, a 70% chance to break out of this little guy. She's also, the reason we did this, I should have got the whole pattern when I was over there. The little scallop that comes down looks like a Rowan bridge. I call it a little bridge pattern. You could call it, I guess, Adam and Adam. But there's a scallop. There's a rounding to it, and she catches it a higher, and then we're good. Love those bottoms. They don't always play out. I've shown some examples where I had some calls like that were looking for that to happen, and it didn't. But it does a lot. And once you start seeing it start to take a lot, just did it over here. So doing it over here. That kind of repeats, it kind of echoes. Sometimes you'll see that happen with price action. I think it's kind of neat. But that's a nice. So with this pattern, we're looking at coming back up to here about 83.5. Hopefully, maybe a little higher. That's what's possible. At least I'd like to see us get to 83 to get above here. Keep making some higher highs. We really need to get above here. They may do that tomorrow, and then they'll play games with us all weekend. Either giving us chasing green candles so they can dump on us. It's my rule now, I don't buy altcoins on the weekend. I sell and take profits on my altcoins on the weekends. I'm losing people, so I'm starting to bore you, I guess. Let's see. Let's go with... I got 2 more coins to go over from our list. I got NKN. Zoom out. Oh, look, we meant it. Let's see, we put these guys out somewhere over here in December, and NKN went up, hit the measure move from, what was it? Oh, from, I think it was, is that? I know. Well, we had a measure move. I can't remember what the freak it was from. We've not looked at this little guy. And then after you met the measure move, what happens? Well, that's a lot of times, you know, you got to figure out what else it's going to do. Measure moves are often kind of like pivot points, can be reversals, or, you know, maybe we're forming something else. Kind of sad. NKN, what are you doing? NKN is back to the prices that it was back in December 2020. How's this one done over the last 2 years? She's got up to 22 cents. Over the past 2 years, past 3 years. That's about as high as this one can get. It got as high as 80 cents. Peaked out at 148 during just the crazy bull run. And now she's right at 2 cents now. Now, if you look at that and you think she can get back to the areas that she's hit over the past 2 years, maybe you can, unless it's just a dying project. I don't know anything about it, but I would at least think that maybe we could do that. That'd be a 10x. And if we can see a bounce coming soon, that might be a decent little play to get into a bag of this. Let's start testing for bottoms. Ooh, nice. Knifey. We're on a trend line that could be probably adjusted a little bit better. Definitely. I'm going to go from here to that. Well, when I go from here to that wick, we got something. That's 3 touches. She's a little tricky to get this one, because we were working with this before and lost it. And so trendline magic rule, or trendline thing that this is one of my rules that I apply. If I'm looking for a deviation, I want to go to wherever that last touch was on a trend line. I try to do that. That's one of my order of operations rules that I've got. And so lining up to there to that wick, we do have something here. Let's hope she catches. She seems to be going a little bit below it at the present moment. 2.07 cents, and she's at 2 cents even, and that can happen. She's at a possible bottom right now on this daily as we speak. Let me try a few other little fit magic things here. I likes it. I don't even think I got one deep enough for this move. Oh, I do. Okay. Let's come down into a smaller time frame and see how she's reacting here. Are we showing any things over here that, yeah, maybe this might work out? NKN, it's just a new kind of network. Is that what this one is? I used to play this one back in the day. So she's, the Fips say that she is at bottom territory, but this is, you want to wait for confirmation. You don't want to blindly, I mean, unless you're wanting a DCA, you think, oh, I want a DCA toward the bottom. But as far as making a solid, oh, there's another one. You're getting it, girl. You getting me in all the cool places here. So if you're watching for this one, I would watch and make sure, you know, on some of these bigger time frames, 4 hour, 2 hour, it may take a while on the daily to get past the 9 moving average. But I don't see the signs I need to see just yet. Keep this on the radar, see if she can get past some levels. It looks like she can still come back down here a little bit. Let me she's still working on confirming a bottom. I'll put it that way. She might. A lot of things are saying that we're near bottom here, but she didn't keep this little double bottom thing she was working on, and she may be working on a bigger one. So this one maybe this one's interesting though. So if we see something like this, that would be a safer time to get in. That's just at 2 cents. You're here so low. I mean, it's just, you know, 5-6% or something. But better to wait till you get a confirmation that you're starting to get an uptrend, or we're starting to get higher highs and higher lows. Even on a smaller time frame over here would be a lot safer to play on this. But this is an interesting thing. This one could do a good 10x. I want to keep this one on the radar. Can I add this one over here? I'm going to add this one over so I can keep track of it there. See that 2 cents right now. Let's go over here to Tokenmetrics and let's see NKN, see what they say about it. I think his new kind of network came out last cycle. It had it had its hype and then it got forgotten, just like every coin that you like. They get hyped and then they get forgotten about. We've been going for 2 hours. I did not know. Oh my gosh. It doesn't seem like it's been that long. Here's the investor grade: 63% fundamental grade, 77% technology. That's pretty good. Valuation grade is 58%. She's got a buy signal for investors. I don't blame you. Market cap is 15 million. Imagine if that gets to 150 million. That would be your 10x, and that's still a small market cap. I want to see some more about the project. Oh, you got some facts here. The current T investor grade is a moderate 66%. This indicates uncertainty that NKN will grow in the long term. Okay, this is interesting. We'll break it down. Its fundamental grade is 63%, technology grade is 70%, and the valuation grade is 58%. Is now a good time to buy? They've been upgrading Tokenmetrics, hadn't they? Maximum supply is 1 billion. Circulating supply is about 3/4 of that, so there's still a little bit. I want to. What's this? You can trade over here now? I didn't look at. You can connect your wallet. I didn't know Tokenmetrics doing that. Unisat. That's a Bitcoin wallet. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We can trade Solana. Connect wallet. Why is it still Unisat though? That wallet wouldn't work right with it, unless they've upgraded that wallet. They're doing some things over here at Tokenmetric I didn't know about. Okay, that's kind of cool. in a way. I just wanted to see this website. Find out a little bit more about this little guy here. Let's
Market dips low, shadows on my screen.
make sure it's the right one I'm thinking about.
Chasing what I've seen.
Token unlocks. There's 210 million left to be unlocked. 21% left that are locked that have their that over the next whatever will slowly be leaked out. Okay, it was new kind of network. I was right. Okay, network that focuses on creating a decentralized and open source network protocol for public blockchain-based peer-to-peer P2 networks. They've been around for a while. Check out their website. And you know they had a good following last cycle. That's the first time I've heard them. First time I looked at them. I think this whole cycle, this new cycle. I hadn't even thought about them back then. I was trying to. The biggest blockchain network in the world. But you got like a layer one here in mobile. I should just try and see what they've been doing lately. Solving all the problems today's internet can't. Millions of nodes. Low latency. Build your own software based on NKN. China Mobile. Are you a Chinese coin? That might be a Chinese coin. I can't remember. That was a narrative too back in the day too. Buy the Chinese coins. You got so many narratives in crypto. So she's in a falling channel that does have a good chance to break through the upside. Got to say that. May not be today. She's got. You got the red dot on market cipher. We're at a questionable point here. We just got to watch her on smaller time frames, see what she does here. She's at an interesting level. I think she could be at a possible bottom. All right, and then our last one to go over for tonight. 12 people. I'm losing everybody now. Nakamoto gains and 32 cents. That's nice. She went down to 29. I like this one. This is one of my major gaming plays that I do like. And she is starting to round out here. Are you bottom? What were you? Oh, this was the Nakamoto short. That looks like an accident. No, I was like, what? I don't even know. When was this? I think that was an accident. She does have her work cut out for her to do. Nakamoto Games and. Nice area at the bottom, man. I'm just saying. Let me go from high here to low. Oh, there's a 382 there, though.
Market dips low, shadows kiss my soul.
So I like where we're at now for a bottom, but I've got to tell you that there is a chance that we could see this area here tested. And I don't know if that means that we come up and then go down, but it's on the table. I've got to throw this one out here. It's on the table. But right now it looks like we're trying to round out, and I like what I'm seeing here on the daily. Look at our indicators. Got the green dot confirmation. This here, the MACD. That's looking bare. So it looks like local bottom is trying to put itself. We're trying to make one. We'll have to see if it catches and if it can get up past 44 cents. But that's looking a little bit more positive here. 4 hour as we go into the weekend.
drift off, echoes in the mist. Flip the spark to fire.
And we're just going to walk up the ladder. Looks like the 618 might be the 618 and 786 areas might be the ones to go with there.
Swaying through my core. Moons pull me close, loving to explore. Yeah, tips turn to silk, I'm riding this glow. Every crash I dodge, every gain I know. Crypto's my rhythm.
All right, so for Nakamoto gains, 38 to 40.
Bullruns my flame, lifting me high. Crypto
Could be on our radar. Let's take a measure move from this little local pattern we got here.
holding every
Also suggesting that, you know, we break out even if it's on Sunday. So it's getting us somewhere up to those areas. We can put this at the breakout. But here on the 4 hour, you got the little green dot, money flow coming up. Stochastics are topping out, but they can level off there while price moves up. But she's trying to do something. I like that. Good. But pump my bags, baby. I need you to go up because you're a lot lower. I thought getting in at this thing, where was it? 60 cents? I've had a bag of this, a mean bag of it before, and I moved it over for spot margin, and it did, and it went up from there. It did great, but then on the second run down, man, this is the lowest I've seen it. This is back when I first started getting into it a couple of years ago now, and I like it. She can go up to $3 now. All right, let me come over to the chat. I went streaming a lot longer than I meant to. Past my bedtime, DSA, man. It's past my bedtime too. I've got an appointment in the morning I got to go to, and apparently I'm gonna be tired during it. My hammer broke. Uh-oh. Is the hammer not working? Jay Violet, Joe, did you? Joe might have went. Is it almost? It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. My gosh. Looks like it's a road dog killing it tonight. I had no idea that I got lost in time. Today's been a weird day for me. This is almost a 3-hour stream. All right, so fair to say we went over a lot of coins. Solnick, Tezos. We went over a couple of stocks: IonQ, RGTI, and then we went over Doge, Peak, Solana, NKN, Nakamoto, DCR, or Decred. And your turkey's tired. Turkey's going to go. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope I didn't bore you too much. It makes sense now why people pop in and out. Too damn long of a stream. All right. I'll see you. Trade carefully. I want to take one last look at Bitcoin because I like to end the stream on Bitcoin. And where are we at? How's we looking? Bitcoin 6-minute chart here. Possible breakout. That's a little iffy. Possible retest of that. I like this. I like what I'm seeing. Rejected off the 360. Not surprised by that. Retesting the 200. Not surprised by that. 300 is good because it's bumping over these guys. I can still see some jankiness going on here. Let's zoom out just a little bit. Still resistance. So trying to figure out what they're going to try to do for us tomorrow, right? Support, biggest thing, we got a W pattern. We retested that. We're above it now. We need to hold this level. That would be cool. Need that. I would probably look at the 4 hour for the weekend. And that does suggest that, I'm still, they may want to ride us up a little bit to get us excited over the weekend. I don't know if they'll do that tomorrow. They usually like to get us, I think they're wanting to play retail. They know retail's chomping at the bit on stocks and probably chomping on crypto too. Chasing them green candles. Got the 4 hour green dot, just confirming. Stochastics head upside, Bitcoin's wanting to try to do something. You can use the 4 hour 24 minute. That's one of Jason Casper's little tricks, and he says buy the next green dot. Oh, and he ain't got one. So you'd have to wait on that one. That was not really set up to strike. I think tomorrow might be, if tomorrow's not a bullish day, I think Saturday might be, just to try to entice retail. And my plan is, with these altcoins pumping up, let's take some profit, baby. Well, let's get paid. Flip the script on them. Partcoin, that's amazing. Caspa, 7 cents now. Jasmine? What are you doing, Jasmine? You up good yet? Cardano. Zcash. Ooh, I like Zcash. I like Zcash. Good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.
Riding waves of midnight belief.
I hope not, but man, I didn't know I was talking that long. That's crazy. Jay Violet, how's it going?
Losing faith in the night. When moon crypto, when moon, I'm so tired of waiting. Everyone is capitulating. I keep hanging on to my dream, but nothing is as it seems. Streams of gold, screens flash by, staring blank into the sky. Echoes of fortunes will pursue, but shadows keep blocking my view. When moon crypto, when moon, I'm so tired of waiting. Everyone is capitulating. I keep hanging on to my dream, but nothing is as it seems. Pacing halls of shattered belief.
Good night, John boy.